Why the long face?
Warning, there will be spoilers for the Star Wars Ahsoka Tano series episode 6 in this video. If you haven't seen it, go watch it and come back. Still here? Alright. That's right. Episode 6 for the Star Wars Ahsoka series titled Far, Far Away is out. And wow. And while some of my thoughts for what would happen in this series have not come to fruition and will not come to fruition, I'm not upset. I didn't let those speculations become something that I must have and get upset about if it didn't happen. No, I'm not upset. In fact, I'm actually pleased that, spoiler warning, Grand Admiral Thrawn and Ezra Bridger are not working together. Why? Because I couldn't guess it, and it made for a new story. A story that I couldn't figure out in my head, or maybe I could have if I wouldn't have thought so hard. But whatever, it was good. Now, while there was a lot of stuff I really liked about this episode, and I thought it did a great job telling the story, there was one thing that I thought, I don't know if I thought it was bad. It just left me scratching my head, and my wife's scratching her head as well. But before we get into it, I'd like to get into today's sponsors. That's right. Ask me to be a sponsor, you become a sponsor. Don't have to sell me anything, give me anything or anything. I don't give you anything other than a good shout out. And the first one is James Hewitt 2146. The second is Glenn Kirshens 7970. And the last is Darth Josepher. Congratulations, guys, and thank you for everything you do. Now, here's their word.
There's an old saying, man who goes to sleep with itchy ass wakes up with pink eye. I'm not sure how that pertains to Star Wars, but I'm sure it fits in with it somewhere. But are you tired of being hated on because you like Star Wars? You're not alone. This channel's dedicated to our love for the Star Wars empire. By subscribing, you're telling goofy haters that you don't care that they can't enjoy Star Wars, that your love for it will bring forward happiness in your life that can only be rivaled by bourbon. Yeah, I said bourbon. But subscribe now and be happy that you have done so.
Yes, be happy that you have subscribed, and please do subscribe. It looks like about 80% of you that watch my videos are not yet subscribed, so hit it. It's not going to hurt you. It's free, and you get to see more Star Wars content. But let's get on with the Ahsoka series and all the good stuff, and one thing that I thought was a little questionable. And as you notice, I am not playing any video from the series, or the episode at least, and that is because I do not want a copyright strike. So you just have to use your imagination. If you've seen it already, you know what I'm talking about. If you haven't seen it, you shouldn't have made it this far into the video anyway, so go away. Okay, let's start at the beginning. Hu Yang wants to tell Ahsoka a story, and Ahsoka says, nah, bro, I'm good. Don't tell me a story. Then he asks her, you might want to tell me a story, in which is implying that she didn't tell him what happened in the water, how Jason Syndulla heard lightsaber crashing, but Ahsoka never talked about what that was about. So, yeah, that's pretty much what Hu Yang was getting to, and Ahsoka didn't want to talk about it. So she said, all right, bro, go ahead, tell me a story. And Hu Yang starts it with, a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away. This is the first time we hear that spoken in Star Wars. We see it at the beginning a lot, especially in the movies, but we've never heard it spoken. So, yes, this is a landmark occasion, and I think it's pretty good. I hope they don't overuse it and just use it this one time. That would be awesome. But since a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away is not printed on the screen at the beginning of the episode series episodes, you know what I mean? I'm tired, just get over it. Anyway, since it's not printed on the screen for us at the beginning, it's only during the movies, then this is befitting for the beginning of a show. Now I'm going to skip ahead and go fast forward through a couple parts, like Sabine's in jail. She's in this kind of holding cell in the brig, as known in the Navy. And what happens? She tries to use the Force. The ground starts crumbling and tumbling and shaking, and she says, oh, maybe I got the Force. But no, it is not her. It is the Chimera. Yes, we finally get to see Grand Admiral Thrawn's ship in live action. And man, it looks beat up. Looks like it got the piss beat out of it, really. I mean, just think about it. If you got a car and you drive it around into the desert for about 15 years and you have no way of resupplying or refitting that car, it's going to look like crap after 15 years. And that's just what the Chimera looks like. Now we finally get to see some more Night Sisters in live action, in their real garb and with their real full makeup and face paint and all that good stuff. Halloween's just around the corner, kids. So let's go trick-or-treating to the Night Sisters next door of Dathomir on Peridia. Now, I have to say that these Night Sisters do look really cool, and it's about time we got some real ones in live action. I'm not counting the Jedi Fallen Order or Jedi Survivor series because, yeah, that wasn't live action. Sorry, it was AI animation. Yeah. So now we finally get them in live action, and it's really cool. Now, fast forwarding, Baylan Skoll keeps his promise, and Thrawn upholds that promise as well and tells Sabine she can go find Ezra. For all he knows, Ezra's dead, but, you know, there's a chance he's still alive out there, and he'll give him his last known coordinates and send her on her way. Surprise, surprise, Thrawn sends Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati, as it's pronounced, after Sabine to destroy both of them. Then sends a couple squads of stormtroopers after them as well. Anyways, about the stormtroopers, did they look a little bit funny to you? Sound a little bit funny to you? I'm guessing that these stormtroopers are not all humans from the galaxy that we know. That these stormtroopers maybe even have some blended, you know, people from Peridia into their mix. And no, that's not because they spoke the language of the locals. It is, you know, that's pretty easy to do. When you're stuck somewhere for 15 years, you kind of learn language. You don't just stick with the language you have. I mean, how easy would it be to go buy a loaf of bread from a nomadic baker when you don't speak their language? You just point and grunt until you start learning the language and you know how to say bread or... Yeah, so Sabine does find Ezra, and Shin Hati, and Baylan Skoll are quick on her tail, but they've made some friends with some locals. Okay, I could sit here and tell you the whole story, and it sounds like I did. Sorry for that. I guess you don't have to go watch it. Yeah, you do, because you don't see it. I didn't put the video in it. I just told you the quick synopsis of the story. Anyways, so yeah, there's a lot going on in this episode. It's about 45 minutes in length, and there's a lot going on. There are some slower moments, and I'm sure a lot of people complain about that because they want to see lightsabers and blasters the whole time, and sometimes you just have to let the story breathe. The story isn't finished. It has 2 episodes left just in this season, and from what I understand, there is a second season in the works, or at least it was in the works until the writer's strike. Let's just get that over with, please. Okay, so one thing I am really liking is the portrayal of Thrawn. He's still showing that genius. There's a couple moments where he's like, okay, this is what's happening. Ahsoka's coming. Tell me about Ahsoka Tano. Tell me about her master and her history. Yeah, I'm going to work on my Thrawn impersonation a little bit more. Let's see if I can walk around work and start creeping people out. That'd be fun. Now, while the last episode, episode 5, Shadow Warrior, was all about Ahsoka, and there wasn't much about anybody else except Hera and Jason a little bit here and there, most of the show focused on Ahsoka Tano and Anakin Skywalker, where this episode's a little bit different, where there's less Ahsoka and more of the villains and such, and Sabine trying to find Ezra. So it's a good balance between the two. So we get stories for both sides. And I'm really liking it. I think that's a really cool way of doing it. Now, I do think there's going to be some betrayal going on. Well, there's already some betrayal with Thrawn, you know, trying to betray Baylan Skoll and Shin Hati, and there's going to be some betrayal of Shin Hati against Thrawn and Morgan Elsbeth. I don't think he wants to leave this planet. I think he wants to create a new Jedi Order, kind of like that guy in Heir to the Empire, huh? That what was his name? Jared Kaboth. I think that was his name. God, it's been a while since I've read it. Wait, does that mean that Shin Hati is going to be the new Mara Jade? I think people would be upset about that. There's no red hair or purple lightsaber, so, you know, orange lightsaber and white hair might throw them off a bit, and I don't think people are going to like that. And not one bit. I think they're going to rebel against it if that happens, but I'm not saying that is going to happen. It just seems like, you know, kind of the way the story would go if we were watching Heir to the Empire. Now, I did promise you guys one thing I did not see eye to eye with Dave Filoni on this one, and that is, how did Sabine Wren find Ezra Bridger so easily? Grand Admiral Thrawn had been on the planet for 15 years with Ezra and did not find him, did not kill him. Maybe lack of trying. Who knows? He just figured there's no more threat anymore because Ezra's off on his own with these little turtle people, and Thrawn's back at the Chimera with some witches and a crap ton of stormtroopers, and there's no way Ezra could fight through all that, and maybe he just didn't see him as a threat. But he knew that if he ever got rescued, then somebody'd be there to rescue Ezra as well, and hence Sabine Wren showing up. So how did Sabine find Ezra in a matter of less than a day when Thrawn couldn't do it in 15 years? Now, that's something my wife brought up after watching it, and I thought, yeah, she's right. That happened. I mean, I was thinking it before, but she really drove it into my head, why is it like that? But it's just a small part of the story, and it doesn't ruin the whole thing for me. And for a lot of people, I'm sure that's going to ruin it. I'm going to see all kinds of videos or comments or something popping up about how Ahsoka's trash because this one little thing ruined it all for them. And I'm sure there's going to be some pop up that say, well, Sabine Wren's a woman. This is a woke show. She was able to find Ezra. Thrawn's a man. He wasn't able to do it. They're making him look stupid and blah, blah, blah. They're hardly making Thrawn look stupid. I'm sorry. And they're hardly making the show look woke. I mean, these are characters that were already developed before this show came out. They could have left it the way it was, but no, they wanted to continue the stories for us. If you don't like it, don't watch it. It's pretty simple. Don't come on my channel commenting that it's woke garbage when you probably haven't even seen Rebels or the Clone Wars. So my answer to that has about to speak a little bit before I get tired. How did Sabine Wren find him so quickly when Thrawn could not? Well, we don't have 15 years to wait for Sabine to find him. She had to find him quick. That's the answer. She had to find him quick so we could get this series moving. We don't have that kind of time to wait for play with Bat Dog or Bat Dog Horse or whatever it is and the little turtle people. We don't have that kind of time. We need the story to move, and that's what they're doing. They're progressing the story along. Now, can you imagine the backlash if Ezra Bridger had not been found and Grand Admiral Thrawn was? They're kind of conjoined, or maybe not conjoined, but their stories are intertwined, so they have to be found at the same time. It's just the way it goes. But I'm sure a lot of people don't like that, and they would not like it if Ezra Bridger was not found along with Grand Admiral Thrawn. Now, I did think that it would take at least one more episode for us to see either of the two or both in the Ahsoka series, but, okay. In the beginning, I said that it would be at least halfway through the series that we would see Grand Admiral Thrawn, when everybody was thinking we'd see him right off the bat. And I said, nah, that's not going to happen. We need to build some suspense and have the travel and looking and all that stuff and figure out who these new characters are before we bring back all of the old characters. And I was kind of right. But I was wrong that they did not bring them in on the last two episodes, rather the third to the last episode, which is fine. I'm not upset about it. I thought it was brilliant the way they brought the Chimera in and you could see it from underneath and you knew what it was. As soon as you saw it was a Star Destroyer, you knew it was going to be the Chimera. But at the same time, you had to see the emblem underneath the Star Destroyer to know this is Thrawn's entrance into this show. But let me know what you think in the comments. I'm going to go to bed because I'm freaking tired. But leave a comment down below and let me know what you thought of the show. And please don't be disrespectful, because I'm going to be disrespectful right back to you. I don't take that crap. I don't care that I sound like Bob Ross either, so haha, go ahead and try to mention that one. It doesn't bother me. So I'm going to leave you with some happy Star Wars thoughts. Here is another word from our sponsor. Yeah, a happy sponsor.
Warning, make sure you clean your butt before you go to bed. I don't want you to get pink eye. Also, subscribe to the channel to hang out with one of the most engaging YouTubers in Star Wars community. Tired of being ignored by other Star Wars YouTubers? Well, that won't likely happen here. I love you. So, push the shiny red subscribe button and make all your wildest dreams come true.
Okay, maybe not all your wildest dreams, but some of them, or one or two of them. I ain't into that weird shit, so don't even try it. Anyways, this is Gerald, a Star Wars fanatic. Thank you all for hanging out with me tonight, and I hope you enjoyed the Ahsoka Tano episode 6 as much as I did. Thank you all for watching, and remember, this is the way, and positivity in the Star Wars community can be the only way.